Dallas's African American Museum is offering a rare opportunity to experience one of the most important folk artists in American history. Paige is live in Fair Park to tell us so much more about the new exhibit, Sunday Call to Church, the art of Clementine Hunter. I might even be related to her. Good morning, Paige.
Hey, good morning to you. Good morning, Texas. Yes, Clementine Hunter. She was a prolific artist who started when she was in her 50s to produce beautiful pieces of art. There's an image of her right here, and religion was a big part of her work. In fact, she was quoted as saying, "Sunday was the best day. You dressed clean, you sang loud, and you thanked the Lord. You made it through the week." She was a descendant of slaves, but certainly not a tortured soul, as you can see reflected in her artwork. I'm excited to introduce you to Margie Reese with the African American Museum here in Dallas. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome.
I have been a fan of Clementine Hunter for many, many years. I love Antiques Roadshow. I love it. And so many times her art is profiled here. As we mentioned, she wasn't until she was in her 50s before she started doing art. She was raised on what was a plantation, but she really did honor and celebrate everyday work, and that is reflected in her art.
She celebrated life. She was a sponge. She was documenting her world in her mind. And when she got to a place where she could be relaxed, as you see in this gallery, she remembered all the brilliant, bright colors. I say this is an exhibition about joy.
Well, you can see her painting behind you, as you mentioned, everyday work. Here she is. Here's some images of working in the cotton fields, picking cotton. And as we go across the room here, you see zinnias. These were flowers that grew prolifically throughout her yard. So once again, she was able to capture that. But then in many of these pieces, you can see that faith was a big part of what she did, as reflected in the name of this exhibit, looking at religious works of art and religious pieces, because the church was part of her everyday life.
Church was part of her soul and her memory. And so you see the beautiful angels that she remembers thinking about and talking about as they're flying over the church. Many of these pieces are about church, as you say, work and faith.
Work and faith. She was finally noticed in a major way. She had her first exhibition in Louisiana. She was the first woman black artist to be exhibited there, and people started to take notice. We also took some video that I want our viewers to see, because it shows how well this exhibit looks within this particular museum. This is a dream come true for your founder, Dr. Robinson, who wanted to make sure that folk art was well represented in the walls here, and was able to do so, as this video that you're seeing does reflect. So how important was it, and why is this such an ideal place to see some of her work?
Well, as you say, folk art is part of the foundation of this institution. And then in this particular gallery, I want your viewers to see the pieces are small, so we had to put it in a nice place, warm place, where you could really resonate with what you're seeing.
Yeah, you can really get up close and personal. These materials that she used were very, very common, very available. That was part of what made her work so prolific, because she did use average household items, even leftover paints from people who were visitors to the plantation, who were able to use these different pieces. And now, as we're standing here, I'm excited to introduce you to Lakeem Lewis. He's the associate curator here at the African American Museum. One thing that I'm really excited to share is that we have some Christmas pieces. These are quite rare.
Yes, Miss Clementine, she spent a majority of her time on the plantation, and she was able to document different holiday seasons, and these are some rare images or paintings that you see of her work on that during that time.
Yeah, so as we look around here, you can see also the Christmas tree over here, and then again, church is certainly emphasized, and we'll land last on the original story of Christmas. This is the origin story. This is a scene of Mary with the baby Jesus, with wise men who are bringing gifts by the light of the North Star. This is so exciting to see her. You really get an opportunity to get to know her. And I want to emphasize again, although she was a descendant of slaves, she was not a slave herself. She really put dignity into hard work, and that is reflected in a joyful way in the pieces that she did.
Absolutely. Being able to capture moments like Baby Jesus or Easter Sunday, these were everyday moments, but we still celebrate them today. So it just shows that the way she was thinking was in a true documentary fashion.
Yes, so she painted what she saw. Thank you so much. You really need to come and see this intimate portrayal of Clementine Hunter's artwork. It really is something worth noting. And you have the opportunity to see it through March the 6th. You can find out more information by going to their website, which is on your screen. Thank you so much. We appreciate this.